What's your favorite thing about what you do?
Talk about Portugal. I'm Carl Munson. I'm here in San Martin de Porto on Portugal's Silver Coast, and I'm the presenter of the daily Good Morning Portugal show. I get up in the morning, I gladly, happily, lovingly talk about my life here in Portugal. I know I'm really lucky to be able to do that, but that is being able to speak about this country, this culture, and why I'm so pleased to be here and share that with a global audience is absolutely a privilege and an honour to do.
We have German Pilsner. Yeah. We've got Can we have a German man trying the German Pilsner?
This feels like home now. My mother's from the Far East and I grew up in England. There's something about the culture and the people here that makes me feeling really at home here in Portugal. I love how I've been accepted here and how our family's been able to have a sense of putting some roots down in a new country. So I think my nomadic sort of soul or spirit has found a really great home here in Portugal.
So Carl, how did you get into broadcasting?
I was like a nightclub DJ, and that led into being on pirate radio. And it just went on from there really. Got into podcasting and so did more spoken word radio. It's just been a part of my life for 4 decades, I think now, in one way or another, on radio, being a DJ, and now a YouTuber, live streamer.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast.
Well, it started as a focal point for the English-speaking community during the COVID lockdown. What has happened is more Portuguese people have tuned in and seem to like how we are passionate about Portuguese life, culture, the country, and I'd love to see more of that, as well as remaining a service to people who are interested in coming here and celebrating our love of Portugal together, sharing what's going on. And actually, what's been really nice is to have people who have some sort of skill or gift or service, being able to present themselves to the rest of the community and being as helpful as we can to network those people and make everybody's life just easier and more enjoyable here.
And we're so lucky and so blessed here in Portugal.
I've definitely got a bit of a reputation for being a Pollyanna and looking on the positive side of things. And as I've lived here a little bit longer, the administrative, the bureaucratic struggle that people speak of is absolutely true. And I've tried to make the best of that. And when life gives you bureaucratic lemons, make lemonade. And it is a pain, and it can take a long time. It is actually a high tax country, and perhaps that's the price we're paying to fund the society that many of us are now proud and comfortable and respectful to be a part of. There's a thing that I call San Martin de Porto syndrome. We arrived in this beautiful town one afternoon in September, and as we rolled into town, I looked at Louisa, my wife, and I said, "This is it, isn't it? We found our forever place here in Portugal." We would then drive to another part of the country, maybe just a few kilometres away, go into the next village and look at each other and go, wow, this could be our forever place. And that's the thing about Portugal. You are absolutely spoilt for choice here. It may be that every place you go to, just like us, you think, this could be it, this could be it, this could be it. It is a country full of beautiful places. So just be very careful about the San Martin de Porto syndrome. Find somewhere that is good enough rather than trying to find the ultimate and forever place. But give yourself time in this culture. As they say, calma, tranquilo, take it easy, be easy on yourself and take your time. It's a bit of a paradox really, because when I first came, I just wanted to be all out integrated. You know, I don't want to stand out like a foreigner or an expat. I'm going to do my best to fit in and integrate. It can be a great intention, but sometimes I think people underestimate how long that takes just to truly fit in to a new culture as an immigrant. So I began to feel a little bit kinder to myself and enjoy being a foreigner, and this playing with this paradox of, yes, we've been accepted and we are integrating on one level, but it's so nice actually to be a foreigner and not understand what's going on around me. I'm not keyed in to the conversations people are having around me like I would be. If I was on a bus or a train in England, I could hear people moaning about life, and I'm sure people are doing the same here, but I don't understand what they're saying. So I'm like having this lovely experience of being a child in the culture until I learn more of the language. So it's a matter of pacing that and enjoying where we are in that integration journey. I'm always working on lots of new ideas. The two principal things that are really at the top of the pile at the moment, the immigrants, the foreigners, the expats who come to Portugal, often retired, have a skill and want to give back a thank you to being in this culture, and how professional people might support young entrepreneurs, Portuguese entrepreneurs. Another project, it's one of the sides of moving here that people don't tend to talk about, which is what comes after the dream. All the upside and positivity of moving here can become a little bit of an anticlimax, and what some people call like a grief process of like, well, wow, I've moved here now, I've done it, I've reached peak pastel donati, you know, or my glass of wine at the end of the day, and their idealized Portuguese life gives way to maybe missing family or a health issue or something like that. In all the positivity of moving here, there isn't necessarily a space for people to talk about what their problems might be in a wider group. It's almost like you're betraying the idea of having a happy retirement if you talk about anything negative. And people do, because that's life. Things do happen to people that they might need to process. And in the worst case scenarios, if something isn't talked about that is troubling people, I've noticed that there can be a spiral, like a toxic spiral, which might end up with people actually leaving the country because they can't come to terms with a certain part that back in the old country they would have dealt with, but here it seems insurmountable. They take it personally and it becomes toxic and difficult, and they end up leaving. So we're creating a space in which people can deal with those sorts of issues.
From Sheffield, so give them a big welcome. Funky Worm, hustle to the music.
Well, we broke Top of the Pops. Yeah, I'm sorry to All About Eve who came on after us. Their music was playing because Top of the Pops was like a mimed performance, and they were just standing there looking around while their music was being played to millions of people and nothing was happening. They just stood there like a pair of lemons. My general feeling about Top of the Pops is I'm not actually a musician. I was miming the trumpet, and I'm a big, you know, I was a DJ who made a dance record. So I apologise to all proper musicians like you and Cheryl, who are like real proper artistic creative musicians who make beautiful music, and there I was faking it on Top of the Pops. So this is my public apology about that. I'm sorry. There is a bit of an issue with the arts here. It's a strange one, and it's to do with the Portuguese approach to marketing, which, as in there isn't really much of an approach to in the intense sense of marketing, of making sure everybody knows about everything that's going on. It's a very informal culture, and so when we might think there's not this kind of artistic activity or theatre or musical performance, it might be that they are happening, but we just haven't found out about it. And it also might be that it isn't happening. We can't make that a failing of the Portuguese culture, that there aren't things here that we would like that they don't have. I think if we want to see them, we have to network it and make that happen for ourselves. I'm delighted to help anyone, musicians especially, to have their work better known to a wider public here. And I think it might start with foreigners and expats, and we've got a lot of work to do to network it among ourselves and share it and introduce it into the standing culture as well.
So do you have any knowledge to pass on or profound words?
Yeah, I wrote about this in the Portugal Resident. And you know that Eckhart Tolle book, The Power of Now? Well, in Portugal, now means no. Okay, so there's a different application of the power of now here, which is like the power of no. And it's getting used to not having your own way and not having your expectations met, which eventually can be turned into an exercise in personal growth or possible transformation. You can take not getting your way, not having your expectations met very personally, or you can think, hold on a minute, I've got an opportunity to grow here and get over myself and adjust to the culture that doesn't seem to be giving me what I want, and go about it in a different way and adjust your expectations and basically, changing yourself instead of trying to change the culture that you're coming into.
Do you have any advice for other artists that want to move abroad?
Yeah, it's connected with the power of now and adjusting your expectations, really. I mean, you know what it's like as a creative, as an artistic person. Often things don't happen quickly, and you've got the added dimension of being in a foreign country, which is going to make that possibly even more frustrating. So give yourself time, take it easy on yourself, don't take it personally, don't stop being creative, keep being creative, find the right people, find your tribe, and find people who will share your work. And I'm one of them. I'd be glad to do that on Good Morning Portugal.